Every time the girl raised a poison insect, she would catch over a dozen types of insects. She would put them in the same jar and let them fight to the death. The last surviving insect would be the one she wanted. Then, she would nourish it with her blood every day. It turned out that the girl was originally the most talented poison girl from Miaozhong. To compete to become the next Miaozhong saintess, she used her blood to nurture a poison insect. However, on the day of the saintess selection, the insect bit her fiercely, then crawled toward the village chief's granddaughter and recognized her as its master. Amidst the astonished cheers of the crowd, the village chief's granddaughter became the new Miaozhong saintess. While the girl was falsely accused of being a thief who stole the insect, she was subjected to cruel punishment and died. When she woke up again, she found that she had been reborn 10 days before the selection of the saintess. Having just been reborn from death, the girl felt a mix of emotions and her eyes reddened. The village chief thought she was nervous about the selection, patted her shoulder and encouraged her to do her best, saying that she was the best at raising poison insects in the village. He expected her to carefully raise an insect during this time, and that she would surely become the next Miaozhong saintess. The girl secretly vowed to find out the truth of her past life, because in her previous life, after hearing the village chief's words, she immediately went home and began reading ancient records, which stated that the insects raised with the blood of the raiser were the most intelligent. In this new life, she didn't carefully raise the insect as she did last time. Instead, she directly took some highly toxic powder and sprinkled it into the jar, then tightly sealed the lid and struck it violently. The pattern snake inside quickly lost its breath. To prevent the village chief's granddaughter from stealing her insect again, she secretly went to the back mountain, where she found a rare green poison insect. Although she only had half a month to raise the insect, she believed that if she could raise the first one, she could raise a second. So, she carefully raised the insect alone every day. 10 days later, she finally raised an insect that satisfied her. As she prepared to descend the mountain and cross the woods, she overheard a conversation in the village, saying that the village chief's granddaughter had raised an insect exactly like hers. She couldn't understand why. Despite hiding in the mountains to raise the insect, the village chief's granddaughter still knew about it. With 3 days left until the selection, she could only use the oldest method. She put dozens of insects into the same jar, allowing them to fight each other. The strongest insect that survived would be the one she would raise. Sure enough, after several minutes, she poured out the insects from the jar and a golden insect crawled out. This insect had spider legs, snake eyes, a golden shell, a centipede's back, and a frog's belly. Seeing such a magical insect, she was certain the village chief's granddaughter wouldn't imitate her again. However, at that moment, the village chief's granddaughter came again, pretending to be concerned about the girl. Suddenly, the insect reacted strongly when it smelled the village chief's granddaughter's scent. This puzzled the girl. Facing the village chief's granddaughter's false concern and fake warmth, the girl didn't want to engage with her. At this point, a villager, worried that the village chief's granddaughter had just killed a poison insect, asked if she had prepared other insects for the saintess selection. She casually replied that she used the oldest method, letting dozens of insects fight each other, and carefully raised the last one that survived. The appearance of this insect was identical to the one the girl had just raised, with spider legs, snake eyes, a golden shell, a centipede's back, and a frog's belly. The girl was immediately skeptical. She couldn't understand how the village chief's granddaughter knew about the insect she had raised. If she used this insect to compete tomorrow, she would definitely be accused of stealing by the village chief's granddaughter again. But now, she didn't have another day to raise another insect. At that moment, she remembered that poison insects would never bite their master. She decided to extend her finger and see if the insect would bite her.